Hi guys, another wee late night rant from me, and this time it's going to be on the subject of religion. A topic that is very close to my heart, and as in I have my own views, and I could talk for hours on it to somebody. I really could talk for hours on different elements of religion, to the Bible, to God Himself, to Jesus, to religions of the world. Um, just to let you all know, I'm Hermetic. Now, Hermetic is the fact that I believe in science and a greater being, uh, a God as such, I suppose, um, a greater power, shall we say. Now, I was brought up as a youngster to believe in God as in the man with the white beard and the robes, etc. It would have been hard to believe in that God, having read the Bible in the sense of Job or Job, however you want to call him, how God took away his crops, first of all, then his cattle, then his family, then his wife, and left him with nothing, just to test him to see if he still believed in God at the end of it, which he did. But what a test! Well, that's a pretty evil God that does something like that. Now, I don't believe in God like that. I believe in God as a greater power. And my sort of a God, I think, is Mother Nature itself. The power of Mother Nature. Um, that there's a story I could tell you. It's small, but I'll tell you. It's lemurs of the world. There's lemurs that go about with this greater, bigger middle finger out to about there, and it's for collecting grubs. Now, a lemur didn't say to itself, "I need a bigger finger to get down in there and get the grubs. Therefore, I'll grow one." It took a while, evolution to an extent, and to me there must have been a greater power that decided that these lemurs need a greater, bigger finger to collect the grubs to survive. It's that sort of a power I believe in. There's a spiritual power that I believe in. It makes the world tick by, the good people of the world tick by. As for the evil people of the world, I have a theory on that as well, and the theory being the fact that it says in the Bible, which I will describe in a minute, my thoughts on it, but it does say, and I see it as in a fable form, that the devil was cast upon the earth to rule the earth. Now, I do believe he does rule the earth in the sense of there's so much evil going on in the world, and it's our spiritual sides that is the godly side, the greater being side. Our bodies are made of the earth, therefore could be a metaphor for being of evil because we're created from the earth. But our spiritual sides are what is the good side. Our bodies naturally want to do things bad in a sense, like take drugs, alcohol, sex, everything like that, where it's a spiritual side that keeps everything in control and stops us doing that to be good people. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. Now, as for the Bible, which I mentioned earlier, as I said, I'm Hermetic, and it's about science mixing with a greater being. I'm not religion. I don't believe in religion. I think religions are sounding too religious. A product of the devil himself. They say the devil comes as a wolf in sheep's clothing. He created religions because religions fight against each other, etc., etc. So anyway, I digress. The Bible. I'm speaking quickly because I've got so much to get in. The Bible itself, being hermetic and seen from a science point of view, I read in Revelations about, now excuse my ignorance on this again, I'm going to prove myself to be ignorant, not knowing the names, but it was David or John was told to write about what he was shown about the future, and he wrote about chariots of fire. Now, chariots of fire, he'd only describe it the way I'm seeing a modern thing, like, say, a missile. And he couldn't say the word missile because it didn't exist in his day, that sort of a language. So he described it what he saw in his world at that time as a chariot of fire. So I took that theory and went to Genesis, and through Genesis I started reading it from trying to look at it from a science point of view, and just the basic form of Eve being created from Adam's rib sounded to me like cell division. And with the Bible being written for the masses of the world who were uneducated and got the stories told to them, it had to be written in a fable form. Because, as I said, they were uneducated and couldn't read, and etc., etc. So to make it interesting, it was written in fable form. And I do believe that Genesis is all about the start of life, which it is. But start of life as in cell division. Now, you may laugh at this, but it is just my thought. Eve coming from Adam's rib, then Cain and Abel, so that's 4, from 2 to 4. But then these wives come along now. This is me going to digress to something else. Where the bloody hell did these wives come from? For Cain and Abel? I don't get that bit of the Bible at all. But anyway, I've got a whole subject to talk about that at a later date. And then later on in the Bible it goes on about so-and-so begat so-and-so, so-and-so begat so-and-so, so-and-so begat so-and-so. It just sounds like cell division, the start of life, put in fable form. So I see the Bible as a bit of a science book, to an extent, you know. Do you understand? I don't know. So anyway, but back to what I was talking about earlier, about religions of the world, etc., etc. I have my own beliefs. I was brought up a Christian, and to believe in everything taught at Bible school, and I find it all hard now. Because I read now, I read a lot. I used to read pro-Christian books, pro-God, pro-Jesus, everything like that. And I decided if I need to learn more, hence the reason I'm Gnostic as well. I believe in knowledge, and collecting knowledge is a very important thing. It's powerful. So I'm Gnostic as well as being Hermetic. And learning as much as you can. I decided to read books from more anti-God, anti-religion, anti-Christian, etc., just to see what their point of view was. And I took a bit from everything and created my own thoughts. I nearly said they're my own religion, but I'm not against religion. So I created my own thoughts, and I have my own thoughts, and I'm going to keep them. And you can write and tell me I'm wrong, but I'm not wrong to me because they're my thoughts. So anyway, there's so much more I can say about all this subject, and I don't want to go on too long because people get bored listening to one person for too long. If they create these wee web pages or whatever you call these things, if they're too long, people won't listen to. So I'll keep the rest of my thoughts for another time, but I'll just leave you with this just now, okay? Oh boy, I can be daft sometimes. Talk to you later.